Hello there my fellow holotable heroes and welcome to another SWGOH video. Now before I get into it, let me first give a shout out to my latest Patreon, Fleepy. Thank you so much, and all my other patrons for your support. It really helps this channel grow. Now, hope you had a wonderful weekend. Now it's Monday and we all love Mondays because we got a new Galactic challenge upon us. So this time we are taken to the planet of Tatooine, where we have to face a squad of bounty hunters. And because it's Monday, obviously it's the Mandalorian faction week, which means that with my low gear Mandalorians I won't be able to get max rewards this time. However, I will show you in this video how I completed the other feats here on tier 7, namely the one where you have to win a battle with using no more than 3 special abilities. As always, first I'll do a quick overview of the modifiers and feats for this challenge, and then I'll show you the team and their mods and explain why they work well, and finally the battles. If you want to skip through to any of those sections, go ahead. There'll be YouTube chapters below as always. Now, Tatooine here, the global modifier, just if you need a reminder what's Tatooine's global modifier, is the Dune Sandstorm, and what it does is at the end of every turn, all units will be inflicted with damage over time until defeated, which can't be resisted, however can be cleansed. So keep that in mind, that you can cleanse those off to keep your guys alive longer. Now for Mandalorians, again, because we have these guys every Monday, we already know they basically will be stacking the clan loyalty buff, but for the purpose of video this doesn't really matter because I won't bother anymore showing you my low gear Mandalorians completing tier 4 anymore. I've done it a couple of times, and yeah, with low gear Mandalorians such as mine I can complete tier 4, but tier 5 is just a bit too hard for me. While as for bounty hunters, again, it's the one we already know, so they'll gain the defensive stacks in the beginning, and every time they hit they will lose 1 stack, so they will begin very tanky there. But once you get those stacks down, you'll be able to burn through them. However, this is a boss-clad team. Boss himself adds extra defense when they have protection, but most importantly, under boss glide they'll be recovering lots of health and protection, because remember the Dune Sandstorm global modifier, so every time you take a turn everybody will get applied damage over time, and because of boss glide all the bounty hunters will keep recovering health and protection, so it will take a while before we burn through them. So actually boss in combination with the Dune Sandstorm, it pretty much makes Darth Revan teams impossible to win against, because Darth Revan teams, they will also be gaining stacks of ferocity, so they'll be gaining so many debuffs that you'll struggle probably burning through bounty hunters. That's why for this feat here, so the simple tricks feat, now if you're following my channel, previously when we had this, I used Darth Revan and it worked really well. However, as mentioned before here, against boss glide and then in combination with Dune Sandstorm, Darth Revan might struggle here to actually burn through these guys, because they'll keep recovering so much health and protection. Now for the other feats here, obviously you have to complete the battle, and then complete the battle with a full Mandalorian unit. As mentioned before, it's Monday, so this feat is off limits for me past tier 4. And then the simple tricks, so that's the one I'll show you in this video how I completed it. And finally they brought back This Is The Way feat, where you need to have a Beskar Mandalorian in your squad. I don't have Beskar Mandalorian yet unlocked, which means that unfortunately this time I will only be able to complete 2 out of 4 feats here on tier 7. Alright, but if you got Beskar Mandalorian, or even better Mandalorian faction, I'm sure you'll be able to get more than I have. So now I just want to focus on what I was able to complete, just to look at the bright side here. So the team here that I use was actually Commander Luke Skywalker, and the reason why I use this team is because you really want to keep under control bounty hunters, because if they get their contract off, then they have Mandalorian on their side and he can just go ahead disintegrate somebody, and because they'll be recovering so much health and protection because of boss glide every time Dune Sandstorm applies damage over time on your team, it'll take a while to burn it through. That's why here I went with Commander Luke, because Luke, he can stun on his basic when the enemy has defense down. He also removes turn on his basic. Then R2 here on his basic can stun as well. 3PO, we all know 3PO does. he will allow rebel allies to on their basic to apply expose, and you know, all these debuffs. As well, he applies confusion on his basics. All these debuffs will fill your turn meter to command the Luke rebels here. Chewbacca, again, he'll be assisting, and he will apply on his basic tenacity down, because remember, with Bosk, you know, they have quite high tenacity there probably, so we need our stuns and turn removals to work. And finally, Han on his basic can remove turn meter as well. Now, as you've seen, I've been mentioning basic a lot of time, and remember, because the feat allows you to only use 3 special abilities, that's why here I all explained what basics actually do on these guys, because the basics will do all the work for us most of the time. Now let me show you my team here. So I'm gonna command the Luke here. He's relic free. I have him modded for speed, so he's at 290. I do have all Zetons on him as well. And then up next, I got a relic here, relic 7 R2, and he is modded for speed, so he's at 288. And now why I brought in here R2 instead of maybe 3PO and Chewie. I tried with 3PO and Chewie, but those dots really burn through your team quickly. And the reason then why R2 actually is very good, because you have Zeta on combat analysis, and if you don't, you probably really should, because it's a great Zeta. So whenever a light side ally scores a critical hit, they will dispel debuffs on them. And this will allow your rebels, whenever they, you know, because we'll be using basics, whenever they score critical hits, they'll be able to cleanse those dots of themselves that Dune Sandstorm applies on them, which means they'll be able to survive a bit longer. So that's what R2 brings here, as well as, you know, his number crunch that will boost your stats overall. And then got here 3PO here at relic 5, modded for speed, so he's at 253. And 3PO here, you know, he'll just be there for that expose mechanics that we have built into his kit. And then finally got here relic 6 on Chewbacca. I have him modded for offense here and some speed. And then finally relic 6 here on Han, also modded for offense and just a little bit of speed, but nothing too crazy here. Alright, so without kind of, you know, mechanics and mods and everything out of the way, now it's finally time to jump into the battle. So first things first, I do want to stun Bosk here, because I do not want to get a taunt off, and luckily with Han's first shot that his basic he will stun as well. So you really want to, you know, prevent Bosk from taunting here. Okay, and now here, as you can see, you just have to look at everybody's turn meter, and whoever has highest turn meter, go after them if they're not stunned, because Luke on his basic as well as Han, they can both remove turn meter. So that's why here I'm going after Mandalorian, because his turn meter is the highest. Okay, there we go. And then again, just use basics here. So there we use the basic on R2, so we got a stun on Mandalorian, so he can't get any attacks out for the time being. Then here, up next, again, the basic here on 3PO can as well remove some turn meter. So just use basic there, going after Django next. And here is the first time I used the special attack. So I dispelled all the buffs on them with his AoE, because I wanted to get Grief out of stealth. Because remember, Grief can cleanse. So if he gets a turn, he could cleanse all the stuns and tenacity downs that you have on your guys. That's why for the first special attack that I used out of 3 available, I used the AoE there from Chewbacca for a dispel. Alright, so now here again, just use basics here from Han, which will remove turn meter from Grief. So there you go, we remove turn meter from him. Okay, here we go. Now going up Boba next, he's got quite high turn meter as well. Removing turn meter with basic from CLS, using R2's basic to stun. Okay, so again here now Django's got the highest turn meter, so that's why I use CLS basic on him to try and remove some turn meter so he doesn't get a turn. Again, there we go, we got almost Django out of the way here. However, looking at Grief's turn meter, he's very high as well. So I'm just kind of trying to, you know, whoever's got the highest turn meter, remove turn meter from them or stun. So there you go, Grief had defense down on him, so CLS was able to apply stun with his basics. So I'm just using basics here, okay? Alright, so here you go. Again, basics there. Alright, so see, eventually everybody will have defense down, so every time Luke gets a turn, he'll be able to stun them. Okay, so stun Django there with Luke. Basic, stun on Bosk. So the only one that's not stunned now is Mandalorian, so I'm just going to go all out on him. As you can see, they're recovering so much health and protection. So there you go. Obviously, you'll have to take Boba, Jango, and Mandalorian out twice because they got Bounty Hunters resolve. So there you go, lost 3PO to Dots. That's okay, he helped us out to get a jump start. So there you go, we took out Mandalorian. There we go. So as you can see, it works really well here. Just keep everybody stun locked, removing their turn meter here. Okay. And then Han removes turn meter on his basic. Okay. There we go. So as you can see, R2 is unique. Is really helping our guys to survive a bit longer here. There we go. Oh, lost R2, so no more cleansing on critical hits, unfortunately. But obviously Chewbacca will keep healing up these two guys because they've got guard. There we go, just going after Boba, try and take him out. Now boss got high turn meter, so let's basic with Han on him. Okay, there we go. Here, just basic, get a stun there on Bosk. Again, Grief, remember, can cleanse. And this is where I had to now use a second special here out of 3. So I just used call to action there with Luke because his health was getting really low. Because now with R2 out of the picture, my guys were not able to cleanse those dots off anymore. So these dots now really start picking up here. So, save those specials now only when you need to heal up Luke. Because you don't want to lose him, so healed up Luke there. He recovers 40% health and protection when he uses call to action. Okay, so got Bosk out of the way. So now we just keep these guys to stun locked. As you can see, the number of dots there on Grief, he had like 38, that finished him off. So just a case now to defeat Jango here twice. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Almost got him. Okay, Chewbacca doing good work. Keeping my guys just about alive. And there we go. Completed now. Defeat here with Silas Rebels. Where, you have to win after using no more than 3. I actually use only 2 special abilities, so I could use one more time, but apart from that AoE spell with Chewbacca in the beginning, the remaining 2 special abilities I was just saving up in case I need to heal up Commander Luke, because he's getting so many turns and dots will really eat him up otherwise after you lose R2. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video, that you find it useful, that it will help you complete the simple tricks feat here on tier 7. Let me know in the comments below or on my Discord server, but until then, have fun, enjoy your life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.